Sports in France play an important role in French society, and the country has a strong sporting history. The most popular sport in France is football. Football, known in some countries as soccer, is the most popular sport in France, with 1,973,270 licensed players in the leagues. The sport was imported from England at the end of the 19th century, under the name of Association football. In its early days, the sport gained followers mainly in the Paris area and the northern part of the country. Nord-Pas-de-Calais and Normandy were the first teams that were created outside Paris. In the south, football's competitor, rugby football, was more favored at the time. Established in 1919 from competing organizations, the Fédération Française de Football consists of 18,000 teams. The France national football team is one of only 8 teams to have won the FIFA World Cup, with good results in other editions. Runners-up in 2006, third place in 1958 and 1986, and fourth place in 1982. It is also one of only 9 teams to have won the UEFA European Championship. France was also the 1984 Olympic champion. Ligue 1 is the French professional league for association football clubs. It is the country's primary football competition and serves as the top division of the French football league system. Contested by 20 clubs, it operates on a system of promotion and relegation, with Ligue 2. The most successful club in the French First Division history is Saint-Étienne with 10 championships, followed by Olympique de Marseille with 9 titles and FC Nantes with 8 titles. The Coupe de France is the premier knockout cup competition in French football. The Coupe de la Ligue is the second major cup competition in France. The Trophée des Champions is played each July as a one-off match between the Coupe de France winners and the Ligue 1 champions. Only one French club, Olympique de Marseille, has won the UEFA Champions League in 1993. Stade de Reims, as Saint-Étienne, and as Monaco have been runners-up. SC Bastia, FC Girondins de Bordeaux and Olympique de Marseille have also been runners-up in the UEFA Europa League. France women's national football team main international achievement has been 4th place at the 2011 FIFA Women's World Cup. Women's national professional competitions are supervised by the Fédération Française de Football. The first division is the Championnat de France de Football Féminin. Olympique Lyonnais is the most successful team in French First Division history with 12 titles, including an ongoing streak of 8 titles. In the UEFA Women's Champions League, all have won twice and have been runners-up twice. Basketball. The France national basketball team has had good results in international competitions over the years, with the senior team winning their first title ever in the recent Eurobasket 2013. The team was runner-up at the 1948 Summer Olympics, the Eurobasket 1949, the 2000 Summer Olympics, and the Eurobasket 2011. Current roster includes NBA players Tony Parker, Joachim Noah, Nicholas Batum, Kevin Serafin, and Boris Diaw. As of the 2010-11 season, 18 French citizens have played in the NBA in the USA and Canada. 12 are currently playing, most notably San Antonio Spurs point guard Parker, with 4 NBA titles to his credit, Spurs forward Diaw, and Chicago Bulls forward Noah. Also notable for his college career at the University of Florida, in which he starred on a team that won 2 NCAA titles with the same starting lineup. Men's national professional competitions are supervised by the Ligue Nationale de Basketball. There are 2 divisions, Pro A and Pro B. ASVEL Lyon Villeurbanne is the most successful team in French First Division history, with 17 titles from 1949 to 2009. Limoges CSP is the only French team to have won the EuroLeague in 1993. The France women's national basketball team is 2 times European champion, and also claimed a silver medal at the 2012 Summer Olympics. Women's national professional competitions are supervised by the Fédération Française de Basketball, with the first division being the Ligue Féminine de Basket. Clermont Université Club is the most successful team in French First Division history, with 13 titles from 1968 to 1981. CJM Bourges US Valenciennes have won the Euroleague Women. Motorsports. Motorsports are very popular in France, especially auto racing and motorcycle racing. Formula One has a strong connection with a long history in France, having roots in European Grand Prix motor racing, which traces its birth to the 1906 French Grand Prix. Many French circuits have been used since the foundation of the Formula One Championships. Reims-Gex, Rouen-les-Essarts, Circuit Chirard, Bugatti Circuit, Circuit Paul Ricard, Dijon-Prenois, and Circuit de Nevers-Magny-Cours. France is home of Formula One World's Constructors Champions Matra and Renault, and Formula One World Drivers Champion Alain Prost. France is also home to the most champions in Formula 2 history, with Jean-Pierre Beltoise, Johnny Servoz-Gavin, Jean-Pierre Jarier, Patrick Depailler, Jacques Laffite, Jean-Pierre Jabouille, and René Arnoux. French constructors have also been successful, with Matra winning the championships in 1967, 1968, and 1969, Automobiles Martini in 1975 and 1977, and Renault in 1976 and 1977. France produced 5 champions in the International Formula 3000 Championship, the successor to the European F2 Series. Jean Elisa, Eric Comas, Olivier Paniche, Jean-Christophe Boulian and Sébastien Bourdais. Tying with Italy as the most successful nation in the Formula. Romain Grosjean won the GP2 Asia Series in 2008 and 2011 and the main GP2 Series in 2011. Touring car racing, although less popular in France than Formula One, has a strong following, especially with 4-time World Touring Car Championship drivers champion Yvan Muller. In sports car racing, France is home to the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the world's oldest sports car race in endurance racing, held annually since 1923. Also, French auto racing team Hexus Racing is the current FIA GT1 World Team Champion. Rallying is very popular in France, with 2 World Rally Championship rallies being held there, Tour de Corse and Rally d'Alsace. French drivers and manufacturers have been very successful in the World Rally Championship, especially since 2000, winning respectively 8 and 10 championships. Champions include Didier Auriol and Sébastien Loeb for the drivers, and Alpine, Peugeot, and Citroën for the manufacturers. France holds an annual ice racing championship at the end of each year, called the Andros Trophy. Other types of auto racing are more favored. Handball. There are 470,590 licensed handball players in France as of 2012. The France national handball team is the current double reigning Olympic champion and European champion. The team also won the World Championships in 1995, 2001, 2009, 2011 and 2015, and the European Championships in 2006, 2010 and 2014. Men's national professional competitions are supervised by the Ligue Nationale de Handball, with the top division being the Championnat de France de Handball. Montpellier Agglomeration Handball is the most successful team in French First Division history, with 13 titles from 1995 to 2011. The team is also the only French team to have won the EHF Champions League in 2003. The France women's national handball team won the 2003 World Women's Handball Championship. Women's main national professional competition is the Championnat de France de handball féminin. Metz Handball is the most successful team in French First Division history with 17 titles from 1989 to 2011. No French team has reached the semi-finals at the EHF Women's Champions League so far. Rugby union. Rugby union was first introduced in the early 1870s by British residents. While football is much more popular nationally, rugby union is predominant in the southern half of the country, especially around Toulouse, the French Basque Country and Catalonia. Elite French clubs participate in the domestic club competition. The top 14 clubs also compete in the European knockout competitions, the European Rugby Champions Cup and European Rugby Challenge Cup. It is the seventh largest French team sport in the terms of licensed players with 457,018 licensed players. The national side is one of the Tier 1 national teams. It competes annually in the Six Nations Championship, and won it outright 16 times. France has been to every Rugby World Cup since its inception in 1987, and has been a runner-up on 3 occasions, most recently in 2011. France hosted the 2007 Rugby World Cup. Rugby League. Ice hockey. Ice hockey is a fairly popular sport in France, especially in the Rhône-Alpes region and in the cities of Rouen, Amiens and Tours. The governing body is the FFHG, which administers the national championship, Ligue Magnus. The national team is currently ranked in the top 20 in the IIHF World Ranking. In recent years, numerous French ice hockey players have made the NHL, the premier ice hockey competition on the planet, based in the United States and Canada, including Stanley Cup winner Cristobal Huet and Dallas Stars forward Antoine Roussel. Australian rules football. Australian rules football is a growing sport in France, with the first clubs forming in the 1990s. There are several clubs around the country forming Super League, and some other clubs playing in a developmental league. There is a national men's Australian football team that plays international matches and competes in the Australian Football International Cup, which is essentially a World Cup for all countries apart from Australia. Tennis. Tennis is the second most popular French sport in terms of the number of licensed players, with 1,111,316 licensed tennis players in France. France holds the tennis Grand Slam tournament Roland Garros. France's current stars include Richard Gasquet, Gaël Monfils, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, Gilles Simon, Elise Cornet, Aravane Rezai. Other stars from the past include Yannick Noah, Guy Forget, Henry Leconte, Amelia Mauresmo, Mary Pierce and Marion Bartoli. Cycling. France holds the annual cycling race Tour de France, which takes place each July and lasts for 3 weeks. It is one of the 3 Grand Tours, which are the most prestigious stage races in road cycling. The Tour has been won 36 times by French cyclists in its 110-year history. Cycling is very popular in France, evident from the fact that the race of Tour de France attracts more than 12 million people who travel to witness the race firsthand. The Tour de France also attracts a television audience of 3.5 billion people worldwide. In addition, the north of France hosts the one-day race Paris-Roubaix, known as one of the cobbled classics, famous for the use of cobblestones or sets as challenging terrain, and as one of the 5 monuments, which along with the Road Racing World Championship are the most important one-day classic cycle races. Other high-profile races which are included as part of the top-level UCI World Tour circuit include the Stages races Paris-Nice and the Critérium du Dauphiné, and the one-day race GP West France. Some of the most notable French riders are multiple Grand Tour winners Lucien Petit-Breton, André Leduc, Antonin Magna, Louison Bobet, Jacques Anquetil, Roger Pingin, Bernard Thévenet, Bernard Hinault and Laurent Fignon, and multiple monument winners Maurice Garin, Lucien Lesnar. Hippolyte Aucouturier, Octave Lapizza, Gustave Garrigou, Henri Pélissier, Charles Croupelant, Jean Forstier, Gilbert Duclos-Lassola and Laurent Jalabert. In women's cycling, Jeannie Longo is one of the most successful competitors of all time, having won the Tour de France Feminine 3 times. 9 gold medals in road racing and time trialing at the UCI Road World Championships, and the gold in the road race at the 1996 Olympics. Gaelic football. Though it is little known, Gaelic football is developing in France. There are currently 20 clubs across the country with 80% of the players French. Sailing. Professional sailing in France is centered on single-handed, short-handed ocean racing, with the pinnacle of this branch of the sport being the Vendée Globe single-handed around the world race, which starts every 4 years from the French Atlantic. Pétanque. Pétanque is mostly played in the south of France. Pétanque is not considered as a sport by many northern Frenchmen, though the International Federation is recognized by the IOC. Professional players play the very competitive form of pétanque, which is called pétanque sport, under precise rules. The competitive form is played by about 480,000 persons licensed with the Fédération Française de Pétanque et Jeux Provençal. The FFPJP is the 4th largest sports federation in France. Parkour. Developed in France, parkour is a physical activity that is difficult to categorize. It is an art that resembles self-defense and martial arts. According to the founder David Bell, the spirit of parkour is guided in part by the notions of escape and reach, that is, the idea of using quick thinking with dexterity to get out of difficult situations. An important characteristic of parkour is efficiency. The basic meaning of this is that a tracer must not merely move as fast as he can. Burr's unofficial motto is "Être et dura." Efficiency also involves avoiding injuries, short and long term. Table football. Table football is a very popular pastime in bars and in homes in France, and the French are the predominant winners of worldwide table football competitions. Orienteering. Orienteering is a reasonably popular sport in France. It is regulated by the Fédération Française de Course d'Orientation. Cricket. Cricket is a developing sport in France. Some reports point that cricket was invented in France. However, the sport is relatively unknown due to inadequate media coverage. In fact, the 1900 Olympic Games, the only one where cricket was played, featured bitter rivals England and France taking on each other. A rematch of the two teams was said to take place just before the 2012 Olympics. Skiing. Skiing is a popular sport in France, especially in mountainous areas in the south, center and east of the country where most French ski resorts are located. Émile Allers won 4 World Championship golds in the 1930s. Henry O'Reilly won 2 Olympic golds at the 1948 Winter Olympics. Jean-Claude Killy dominated alpine skiing in the late 1960s, winning all 3 alpine skiing golds on offer at the 1968 Winter Olympics on French snow in Grenoble. These events also served as the 1968 Alpine Skiing World Championships. And in addition, Killy won the World Championship combined event in 1968 to add to golds in the downhill and combined one at the 1966 World Championships. He also won the first 2 overall Alpine Skiing World Cup titles. Marielle Goitschel won 2 Olympic golds, an additional 5 World Championship golds and 3 Discipline World Cup titles in the 1960s. Guy Perrelate was a double World Championship gold medalist in the 1960s. Fabienne Serrate won 2 golds at the 1974 World Championships. More recently, Luc Alphand won the overall World Cup in 1997 and 4 discipline titles in downhill and supergiant slalom. Jean-Baptiste Grange was Slalom World Cup champion in 2009 and Slalom World Champion in 2011 and 2015. French success in cross-country skiing has been somewhat more limited. However, Vincent Vitors did win a gold medal in the 15 km plus 15 km double pursuit at the FIS Nordic World Ski Championships in 2005. He also finished as runner-up in the Distance World Cup for 3 consecutive seasons from 2004-05 to 2006-07. Jason Lamy-Chapuis has been an extremely successful competitor in Nordic combined. He won a gold medal in the individual normal hill 10 km competition at the 2010 Winter Olympics, as well as 4 World Championship golds and 3 consecutive FIS Nordic Combined World Cups between 2009-10 and 2011-12. France has enjoyed great success in biathlon in recent years. Raphael Poiré won 7 biathlon World Championship golds and 4 overall biathlon World Cups. He is the joint second most successful male biathlete of all time in terms of winning overall World Cup titles, and scored 44 World Cup victories. Martin Fourcade has won 6 World Championship golds, 4 overall World Cup titles, 1 silver medal in Vancouver 2010 Olympic Games and 2 gold medals in Sochi 2014 Olympic Games.